Hello everyone, welcome back. Severus is here, coming back with part 10 of What If Deku Had Where It's All Magic. Now let's just get right into it. Now, in the last part, after Midoriya managed to finally make a deal with his devil by giving 10% of his body in return of 10% more of the devil's power, he started training with it. However, his training to try use his healing command on others seems very very disappointing because he's still unable to use his command into others. However, beside that, he just got a lot stronger. For example, all of the old commands that Midoriya have gained more 10% power, and his right arm has changed into something new that really was beneficial too, because his right arm has the ability to spawn multiple mouths on top of it, allowing Midoriya to use multiple commands at once. And with that in mind, Midoriya just kept training, trying still to use his healing command onto others or that flower or anything, while at the same time trying to gain more power. Anyway, after all of that happened, everyone is just eating their food and, well, enjoying their day. As Class 1A are eating, Izuku just sitting down and eating with them. As he's not eating in the regular way, if you would say. He's kinda eating with his left arm and his right is, well, you fill the dots. Anyway, as everybody's seeing Midoriya's eating with his right arm, literally, not metaphorically, some people just start staring at him, and Izuku, when he finally realized that everyone is staring at him, he said, "What's wrong?" As they just staring at him, and suddenly, for no reason, well, Kirishima said, "All of a sudden, I don't feel so good. I think I lost my appetite." And the invisible girl just ran away to find herself well, somewhere to puke, and Mina said, "Can you stop that? It's really distracting." As Izuku said, "Stopping what?" As Tokoyami said, "Eating with your hand, Midoriya." As Izuku said, "Oh, you mean this?" As he said, "Yes, exactly. It's a bit distracting," as Mina said. As Uraka said, "How does it even work? Where does..." As immediately Mina said, "Don't ask that. Just don't." As Izuku said, "Okay, if you guys don't want me, alright." As Izuku just started eating in the normal way. After which, Pixie Bob told everybody that tonight they're gonna do a test of courage. So, everyone just start standing with each other. They take their numbers and everything, and Izuku, sadly, he is alone. As Izuku said, I'm alone? As, well, Pixie Bob said, "Well, it seems that we don't have enough students for you to have somebody with you." As Izuku said, but suddenly, Nero out of nowhere landed on Midoriya's head. As Pixie Bob said, "Well, it seems that you found your partner." As Izuku said, "Nero, where have you been?" As Nero just sleeping on his head. Well, Pixie Bob said, "Alright, let the test of courage begin." As everybody goes first, except Midoriya, Ida, and the multi-shoji, and Mineta, and some other students that will gonna go later. Anyway, they are just standing around. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Pixie Bob just flies into one direction, and immediately her head being smashed under a giant metal, well, pillar. As from the bushes, two villains appear. The one with a gecko-looking face, and the other just having Pixie Bob right under his giant pillar. As Mineta looking at this thing, how the villains? How are there villains here? As immediately Spinner looking to the rest of the students saying, "Now it's time for the League of Villains to take in charge. We are the Vanguard Action Squad, and we are here by the will of Stain." As immediately while he's talking saying, "Alright, who will get a face?" As suddenly they both hear a voice, a chilling voice, saying, "Vacuum wall." As both of those villains just slam their head into the floor. As immediately they just can't move. Spinner saying, "How? I can't." As as Magnet also said the same thing, but immediately Izuku said, "Come here." As Pixie Bob slides in front of Midoriya, Izuku looks down into her, and he's sensing that she is still alive. Mandalay said, "Thanks, Midoriya, I'm gonna handle this. The rest of you, go and warn Aizawa," as Izuku said, "I'm gonna go and see if there are more villains." As Mandalay said, "What are you talking about? You need to retreat," as Izuku said, "But what about Kota? I need to go save him." As Mandalay said, "Wait, Kota?" As Izuku said, "I'll return quickly, I swear." As Midoriya starts running, but while he's running, he realizing, "I can't make it in time if I run. I need to be more quicker." As he looks into his grimoire and said, "Alright, just do it, Midoriya." As he put the grimoire into his heart, and Izuku looks into Nero, saying, "Nero, if anything goes wrong, can you please stop me?" As Nero just, flies into the top of a tree, and Izuku said, "I don't know if that's yes or no, but sure. I trust you." As Izuku put the grimoire into his chest, having more surface for contact, allowing that demonic mana to circle through him even faster, and by that time, Kota is on the top of his cliff, looking into the villain that just showed up out of nowhere, asking to exchange his hat with his horrible mask. Immediately, the guy takes off his cloak and mask and asks if they can play a little game, saying, "I'm gonna hit you and you try not to die, understood?" Now, as the villain's arm get covered by multiple amount of muscle fibers, he immediately said, "Show me some blood!" As immediately, before he managed to hit Kota, suddenly he hears a voice saying, "Vacuum wall," as Muscular flies into the wall. And when Kota looks into Muscular, he said, "What the?" As he looks behind to see Midoriya flying down with one wing, this demonic half-hybrid of a devil child, gently puts his legs on the floor and immediately comes closer to Kota as he said, "Are you hurt?" As Kota just still unable to talk, Muscular comes out of the wall and said, "Alright, now, you really pissed me off, boy." As he looks to see Midoriya, and he said, "Wait, I know you. You're the kid that we're after." As Izuku said, "They're after me?" As Izuku asks, saying, "What do you want? You're the League of Villains, right? What do you want from me?" As Muscular said, "Don't know, don't care. They just told me to, if I see you, to grab you. And that's what I'm planning to do, but first, let's enjoy a little bit of a battle. Wouldn't you say so?" As Izuku said, "I asked you, why do you want me?" As he said, "I told you I don't know. And stop asking me questions. Show me your blood." As he immediately attacked Midoriya, but immediately his hands hits an invisible barrier. As Izuku said, "Vacuum wall. You could never touch me." As Muscular just looks into him saying, "We'll see about that," as he keeps punching against the wall, while Izuku just looking into Muscular without a look of emotion in his eyes. Immediately, Muscular just puts more muscle fibers trying to break through the wall. He puts everything into it. And in the end, just nothing. As Izuku said, "I told you. You can't touch me. You know, if you really want to capture me, you should have brought some more stronger foes." As he said, "Split him open." As Muscular gets a giant slash on his chest, before Izuku said, "Vacuum wall." As Muscular hits the wall again, and Izuku said, "Lightning lance." As a lightning lance hits Muscular in the face, immediately electrocuting him, knocking him out. And Izuku finally said, "Bind." As Muscular gets covered by many chains. As Kota looks into this, he said he defeated him so easily. As he looks down into Kota after his demonic mode finally stops, all of the darkness around him disappears, except oddly his eyes and face marks did not, and his horn too. The only thing that disappeared is his wing, for some reason that he's not aware of or doesn't understand. but this is not the time to think about this. He looks into Kota saying, Kota, are you okay? But immediately Kota just hugs him, crying into his shoulder, very happy that he saved him and that he was so scared and everything. While Izuku grabs him, he said, it's okay, Kota. Now, I have to send you back into Mandalay, alright? As Kota said, okay. But as Izuku said, now, don't be scared. I'm gonna use one of my commands on you. I'm gonna send you straight to her, but I'm not gonna hurt you, obviously. Okay? I just need you to be strong and to be ready. Alright, Kota? As Kota just calms down and nods, as Izuku said, alright. Go away! As suddenly, Kota disappears out of Midoriya's eyesight, but with Mandalay, suddenly he appears right in front of her, as if he just been teleported, but it's more of like he flew so fast in front of Mandalay that he just landed in front of her perfectly. As she told him, well, he tells her what happened and tell them that they need to help Midoriya. Well, with Izuku just stand up and said, okay, what should we do next? As he looks around the forest, saying, what am I supposed to do? As Nero lands on his shoulder, and Izuku said, Nero, do you know what should I do? As Nero just points in the distance at the training camp, and Izuku said, I can't go back and just hide. People need me. And besides, I need to send this villain too. Okay, think. Nero, can you lead me to the nearest villain? As she points into the fire, and Izuku said, thanks, let's go there. As immediately Izuku starts running there. After, of course, also sending Muscular to the training camp by using the same command he used on Kota. Anyway, as Izuku running down, suddenly he feeling a shock of pain in his body. As he feel that shock of pain, he hear a giant scream and loud noise saying, "Calm down, Dark Shadow!" As Izuku looks to see Dark Shadow and Shoji, as he first sees Shoji that is hiding. Shoji explained everything to Midoriya, saying that Tokoyami got out of control after that villain attacked him and cut his arm, but he didn't realize that he can regenerate them. As Izuku said, I can help. Immediately he looks into Tokoyami, the friend that accepted him this whole time and helped him. He used his commands saying, wave of flames, as the fire appear out of nowhere around Tokoyami, causing Dark Shadow to finally calm down. As Tokoyami start breathing heavily, saying, Midoriya? As Izuku said, come on, let's go. As he holds in front of him his right arm, as Tokoyami grabs it, saying, thank you. As Izuku said, don't thank me. We need to go help the others. I'm sensing another villain nearby. As Tokoyami said, alright, lead the way. As Tokoyami, Shoji, and Midoriya are all running in the direction where they heard the villain. And that villain is facing against Bakugo, and sadly, Bakugo is filled with stabbing marks through his body. As the villain sings, flesh, flesh. As before he was about to kill Bakugo, suddenly someone said, split him open, as all of the blades coming out of the mouth of the villain being, well, split into multiple tiny pieces as the guy falls from the sky, and immediately Shoji grabs him with his arms and punches him in his face before Izuku said bind, as he just gets binded and covered and knocked out immediately, comprehended very quickly. As they look into Baku, and Tokoyami said, Baku is not alright. He has multiple wounds in his body, and as he just, lift up Baku's shirt to see his, chest and stomach, he's got a lot of stabs. He's barely alive, and Izuku said, damn it, we need to stop the bleeding. As Tokoyami said, how are we? As Izuku said, Bakugo, are you still there? Bakugo! As Bakugo is unconscious. So Izuku helped himself by using his wave of flames to burn shut all of his injuries. Of course, he did not feel it since he was unconscious, which helped. After which, Shoji just holds him up on his back, and they all start running to see if there is anybody else that they need their help. As Izuku is running, He told them all to go back into the camp, but before he continued, suddenly, him and Tokoyami and Bakugo all being touched by someone so quickly that Shoji couldn't react, as all of a sudden in front of Shoji he sees Mr. Compress holding all 3 marbles, saying, well, that was more simpler than I expected. As immediately Shoji looks to see a villain, he said, well, normally we would have been right now in a fight. Sadly, we cannot fight right now, because I already accomplished my mission, young man, so adios. As the villain just jumped into the top of the tree, Shoji tried to attack him, but the villain was just too quick for him. And in the end, the attack on the training camp resulted in Midoriya, Bakugo, and Tokoyami being captured. Kota is safe. The villains that have been captured are Muscular, Moonfish, Spinner, and Magnet. Aizawa is still okay and everything. However, those 3 students have been captured. Momo managed to put a tracker on the normal show, but right now with Izuku, Bakugo, and Tokoyami in the hideout of the League of Villains, Izuku just wakes up, and Tokoyami also wakes up. Bakugo's the only way that's still unconscious because, well, he got a lot of injuries. And Izuku wakes up to see a girl staring at him, saying, "So adorable," as he was about to speak, but something is covering his mouth. As Shigaraki said, "Well, you really think we're just gonna let you talk?" As Tokoyami looks around saying, "Where are we?" As immediately Shigaraki said, "Well, you're in our hideout, obviously. We are the League of Villains." As Tokoyami said, "The League of Villains? You're the ones that attacked the USJ." As he said, "Well, would you look at that, you remember us." As Izuku looks left and right to see Bakugo and Tokoyami. As Tokoyami said, "What do you want from us?" As he said, "Well, it's not really you what we want, but we want you." As he pointed to Midoriya, and Tokoyami keeps talking, saying, "What do you want from Midoriya?" As he said, "Well, for starters, this," as he holds a blue stone, a blue gem in front of them. As Tokoyami said, "Midoriya's stone? Why do you want that stone? It's just a charm for good luck." As Shigaraki said, "I don't really know why we need it. It's more of my master's orders. But that's on for later. But now the main thing that I captured you for is Izuku Midoriya. I'm giving you an offer to join the League of Villains." As Izuku eyes widening, and Tokoyami said, "Midoriya joining the League of Villains?" As Shigaraki said, "We saw what you did in the sport festival. You're not a hero, not a single bit. So why do you keep acting the same as the rest of those students? You can be more than just a villain. You have a lot of great power and potential in your hand. Even my master admires you. Now, tell me, would you join us? I'm still surprised of how you managed to defeat us in that USJ, and how you managed to defeat Muscular with ease in that training camp. Why don't you join us, Izuku Midoriya? Your potential is far wasted on this heroism stuff." As immediately a girl said, "Yeah, come on, join us. It will be a lot of fun and we can kill anybody that we want and do whatever we want. Come on, don't you want to join us, please?" As immediately Mr. Compress said, "I have to say that your skill and abilities are wasted on such weak beliefs." As Shigaraki said, "That's right. So what do you say, Izuku Midoriya? Will you join the League of Villains?" As immediately Izuku gulps as though saying in his mind, "They want me to join them? Of course I'm not gonna join them, but maybe Maybe it's time for me to switch. Wait, what am I thinking about? No, shut up, shut up. That's not me who's talking. It's you, isn't it? Devil? As immediately Izuku closes his eyes and he feels himself in that demonic, dread place as the devil starts chuckling.
Well, you finally got it. How sad. I wanted to toy with you a bit more longer. It would have been really funny to see how you would work with those League of Villains.
As Izuku said, do you have anything to do with this? As he said,
I'm as surprised as you are. But honestly, I'm only here to have a nice and enjoyable show. And right now, I'm enjoying it so much.
As suddenly Izuku being sent back into his, the real world, as Shigaraki said, so what do you say, Izuku Midoriya? Will you join the League of Villains? Not with agreement if you, agree, but I don't suggest nodding with disagreement. As Tokoyami right now thinking his mind saying, this is bad. They want Midoriya to join them? No way Midoriya would join them, right? He is my friend Midoriya, and that devil is not in control of him. Does the heroes know where we are? Does anybody know where we are? Damn it, what should I do? Should I buy time? Yes, I should buy time for now. As Tokoyami gulped his throat and said, if Midoriya joined you, what are you planning to do next with the rest of us? As Shigaraki said, well, that will be for later. But now, I need your answer, Izuku Midoriya. Will you join, but suddenly, somebody breaks through the wall saying, I am here! As all of a sudden, Kamui Woods ties all the League of Villains up with his wood. Gran Torino hits Kirigiri and Dabi on their heads, knocking them out. And also, immediately, another hero being Edshot managed to free Izuku, Bakugo, and Tokoyami. Bakugo is finally waked up to see the people are, being captured. Tokoyami and Midoriya are free, and immediately All Might just hugs all three of them, saying, thank God you all three are right, okay? It must have been terrifying, right? But you kept a very strong spirit. As Tokoyami is a bit, happy that they are saved, and Midoriya is a bit skeptical. He's still, sad. Those villains captured him because they want to make him join them? As All Might looks into Shigaraki, he said, Shigaraki, your reign of villainy ends today. You have underestimated the heroes, underestimated UA, but most importantly, you underestimated the strong will of my students. Now, where is your master? As immediately Gran Torino said, just tell us already, Shigaraki. You'll lose. As Shigaraki said, no fair. This wasn't supposed to go this way. It's always you appear when I don't need you. Just leave already, All Might. I hate you. As suddenly a gray, gooish thing comes out of everybody's mouth, including Bakugo, and Izuku, and Tokoyami. As immediately All Might try to grab them all three, but they all disappear right out of his hand. As he said, no! Shigaraki and the League of Villains are being teleported away, and this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think about this part, and what do you think we're gonna happen in the next part. And I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.